Dylan, I want to talk about... Oh, so sorry about hitting that mic stand. How southern we look right now. We are drinking sweet iced tea
Yeah.
in mason jars.
Mine's from Slim Chickens.
Mine is...
Branding.
Care Self-Sealing. Kerr.
Yep.
Yep. Cheers.
Oh, are we doing this?
I guess.
Yay, look at that.
Oh, yeah. Well, Dylan, I'm going to start this podcast with a observation.
Yeah.
I have discovered what the mark of being an adult is.
Yeah.
It is not, in fact, whenever you start paying your taxes or pay your own bills or, start voting or anything like that. Do you know what the mark of being an adult is?
According to Stephen King, it's having sex, but please enlighten me.
And not even that. Not even having sex is the mark of being an adult, okay? The mark of being an adult is seeing two separate trailers for two separate Pokemon games and feeling absolutely nothing for either of them. Feeling no, excitement or anticipation. You're just like, I am bored right now.
You're not wrong.
I am bored watching this Pokemon trailer. And that is the moment you realize your childhood is dead and you are officially an adult.
Yeah, I could agree with you on that. Yeah,
Another
that's definitely
mark-
when I felt
Another mark
dead to the world.
Another mark your childhood is dead is whenever you walk into Best Buy or Lowe's or something and you're excited to be in there. Like you walk into Lowe's and you're just like, I wonder what deals we can get on paints. Your childhood is just done right then and
I
there.
like being in those stores.
Well, you know what? You're an adult now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to is this the 8th episode of this is the 8th episode of the podcast.
Woo!
I'm having a hard time remembering these. I'm your host, Dale, and I am joined today by my good friend, Doan.
Yeah.
And, we like to pride ourselves on going and watching wonderful, wonderful movies and giving you guys trustworthy and honest reviews. Tyrion is on the back of my chair. Hi, buddy. Hi. No, not my back. Oh,
Do
get
it.
off. Ugh. Sorry.
Do it.
Technical. One sec. I think he wants out of the room.
Yeah,
Give me a
probably.
second. Delays. Get out. Get out. Go.
Nobody
Just
loves.
leave me.
Nobody loves you.
Like every other man in my life. Anyway, so sorry about that interruption. My other roommate decided to pester me.
And that one's over there licking his balls.
Oh, gross. You have to do that in my room? Come on.
On your bed.
This is a sacred place, Deku. Sacred. Anyway, as I was saying, we pride ourselves on... My chair is super squeaky right now. I'm sorry. We are so unprofessional.
This is the best start we've ever had. What are you talking about?
We pride ourselves on honest reviews for good movies. And Dylan, you want to tell them the best movie we saw today?
I can't even take it seriously. We went and saw Breaking In, which if you don't know anything about this movie, I don't blame you. I didn't either.
It's Metal Gear, Mama, is what it is. That's all it is. Except the mama has no formal military training like Big Boss. She's just a mom.
She's just a mom with a man's name.
And the tagline for the movie is payback as a mother, and then doesn't even finish it because this is a PG-13 movie.
No, but all good PG-13 movies, it had the F word once.
And it was at the very end.
Like, they had to make sure they squeezed it in there so you knew how intense that moment was. You are just destroying everything.
Our whole setup today. I am a wrecking ball.
So we went and saw this movie, not on our really because we wanted to, but because we knew we needed to go see something. And if we're gonna be fair in the movie business, we need to go see the movies we don't want to see as well as the movies we do. So, and considering we skipped going and seeing Solo and reviewing it,
I had fun in this movie. I had fun, like.
Oh, I enjoyed this movie.
Critiquing how stupid it was.
I enjoyed this movie thoroughly, but not because it was good. So I guess just a quick rundown of what the movie is. The main character is a mom who is having to...
I'm sorry, one sec. I like the way you said that. The main character.
The main character's a mom.
You take one sip of sweet tea and suddenly your southern drawl comes out.
So... The main character's a mom, and she's going to her recently deceased father's home with her 2 kids in order to sell the home because, I mean, I guess she doesn't want this really nice, like, resort-style home.
I'm going to have you time out again because I'm glad you didn't start drinking your sweet tea in the theater. Because, like, if the southern you comes out when you drink sweet tea, the moment you saw that we were going to watch a movie with a predominantly black cast, you would have been like, ah!
So
I'm sorry. No offense to any southerner out there. We have a bad
people. We love all of you.
We have a bad reputation here in the South. So, I'm sorry.
So, anyway, they're gonna go sell the house. Turns out there's bad guys in it, which they broke in. Obviously, I guess through the garage door, since that was the only opening we saw.
No, they broke in, like, I don't even know how they broke in.
How long have they been there?
Yeah,
also?
like, were they just chilling? Were they, like, hiding, like, in the cupboards or something? Like,
they were there for a long time.
Like, they had to have been there for a while.
Like, for a really long time. Good God, 31 downloads.
Wait, why do you have 30? Oh, it's... Anyway, let's stop breaking the fourth wall and talk about the, let's not look about the Xbox that's, not on.
It's not recording.
And,
but, okay, so they go and they're gonna sell the house. I don't want to download that. They're gonna do the house. They're gonna sell it. And bad guys are apparently already inside the house, which, again, makes really no sense. But sure, whatever. It's a movie. While in the house, they, like, the bad guys slowly, like, they catch the daughter and the son.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of them finds mom because she's outside on the phone with her hubby. And all of a sudden, this skinhead guy comes out wearing his glasses. You know what he looked like?
What did he look
looked like a younger version of Walter White. That's what he looked like.
I didn't get to see his face enough to make that judgment call, but... I believe you.
I just judge it because he was white, bald, and wore glasses.
I judge the fact that...
Immediately, Walter White.
I judge the fact that, you know, he's an ex-convict and also ex-military, and he can't beat this mom. Because...
Nobody can beat this mom.
Yeah, no one can beat this... As I said, she's Metal Gear Mama. And I wasn't lying about that statement. She's, like, apparently the greatest in espionage and stealth and assassination, and all that needed to happen were her kids needed to get kidnapped, and apparently it opened the sleeper agent in her.
Which this movie, very quickly, like, it's not even an hour and a half long. So it's a rather short movie in comparison to, like, a ton of other movies, where I would assume we're used to movies nowadays being about 2 to 3 hours long, just about. So this movie was rather short, so it was really easy to fit into our schedule, and the problem with the fact that it was so short is the very beginning of the movie, they have to very quickly get you caught up to speed as to who the characters are, why they're there, what's going on, and everything. But in that, you immediately lost like everything that would have made you care about any of these characters. I had no emotional attachment to one of these characters.
I had no idea the grandpa was being investigated for like money laundering until like near the end of the movie.
It's the very first scene.
All I just knew is he was a rich guy and he got killed because he was a rich guy.
Yeah, it opens up and there's an old guy who apparently, like, at the very beginning, if you didn't notice, there's like a radio broadcast or TV or something, and they're talking about him and how he's supposedly either supposed to be going to jail or he's being investigated for like money laundering and stuff.
Which, if he's being investigated, or like, or the police do have an investigation, how is he able to jog freely? Like, how is he not under house arrest?
He's got a bunch of money.
Yeah, but like even
he's loaded. Look, you know he's rich because within the first 5 seconds of the film, he pulls out a drawer that's completely dedicated, but nothing but his movement watches.
Yeah. Like, I guarantee those are all movement watches, because, like, the richer you are, the more frugal you are, the more you try to, like, save that money. So there's no way those are, like, $1,000 watches. They're like $80.
He probably has, like,
most.
Maybe one Rolex in there.
Maybe. And then everything else he got off
because I noticed all those, like, watches, they all had, like, rubber parts and stuff.
This is also a movie, which I don't know how much money they funneled into, so I imagine they probably couldn't afford to have a prop Rolex.
I'm sure I can find out. I mean, they make fake stuff all the time. The budget was $6 million.
That was it?
Yeah. And its opening weekend, it made $17 million. So,
they
nearly tripled their amount in the opening weekend alone. Gross domestic was is $37 million.
Okay.
So I mean, the movie made good money. IMDb has it rated at a 5-star.
Out of how many stars?
10.
Okay.
So I mean, which when we get to our rating system, we can discuss that. But I mean, from an outward appearance, I guess the majority of people seem to be okay with it. It obviously wasn't like major motion blockbuster, but it apparently did well for what it was. And like we said, we weren't big fans of the movie. The movie didn't like wow us.
I had more fun making fun of the movie than I did actually watching the movie.
There were so many loopholes and like plot holes in the movie. So there's one though that you immediately pointed out in the movie is the fact that when she's outside, she has no shoes on. She has absolutely no shoes on, and then bald guy shows up. And they get into a fight, which, by the way, he punches her and throws her down so many times. She should have either been knocked out, had the breath knocked out of her, or something. But this lady was like, nah.
Or like when she like rolls down the hill and then like hits the truck at the base of the hill and then like immediately gets up. No, you would be the wind would be knocked out of you. You'd be laying there for a second.
I remember watching stuff in school and like they're like on adrenaline you can do crazy stuff. Like this woman somewhere, which this is a true story. She got trapped under a boulder, and because of the adrenaline she had, she was able to lift the boulder because at that moment her brain shut off her like pain receptors and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm sure maybe that could have happened if you're getting chased by someone and you think your life is in danger. And you got all that adrenaline pumping through you, I assume it might be possible for you to be like, oh, I'm okay for now. But at some point, you're gonna feel those effects afterwards. And adrenaline doesn't typically last as long as it took for her to get in there, which obviously had to at least been 2 hours. Mm-hmm. Like, as a time span of all of this happening.
When she got into the house, or like the whole movie?
Just the whole movie. Somewhere in there, she had to have taken a breather.
So they cut the security system within like moments before she went out into the garage and saw that it was cut. And they said they had an hour and 30 minutes before the security system called the police.
Yes.
So it had to have been the full hour and 30 minutes.
So basically, the entirety of the movie is the entirety of what we saw.
Yeah.
That is this time frame of like everything. So everything we saw, you could almost look at it as real time. Almost, if there weren't hard cuts like there are.
Another name, Assassin's Creed MOMMA.
Oh gosh.
That's what it was.
You think whenever,
She was so
when she was on the roof,
stealthy.
when she was on the roof, she fell off of it. All they
Yeah.
needed was that eagle,
Yeah,
like
the-
cawing
or
in
just
the background.
or the-
yeah, and just that like sharp whistle or something as she fell off the roof.
yeah.
So there's a total of 4 bad guys in the movie. Here, let's go over who starred in the film, because I honestly
I remember.
I'm in
I don't know any of their names, but I remember Skinhead, Boy Band, Cholo.
You can't say
and that's what else? What was his name? What was his name, Doan?
his
Tell me
name
his
was
name.
Duncan.
Was his name Duncan?
Yeah.
Cholo Duncan. Then I also remember the main bad guy was your stereotypical.
He was John Wick.
Never. Yeah, he was John Wick.
That's
first
what he
of
looked
all.
like.
And second of all, he never ever got nervous, and he ended every sentence with either a face scrunch or a head bob.
He was super chill.
slightly head bob up in the air, or like an eyebrow raise.
He was super chill through the whole movie. Like, at no point did he ever get worked up. All right, so we're
like
gonna.
he got stabbed in the stomach, and even then, it was more of just a oh, this is inconvenient, and then he just dies.
So we'll go through, like, IMDb has the list of the cast, top build. So the first is, what is her last name? Gabrielle Union, I believe. She's the mom, so she plays the character Sean Russell, which, I don't know why you would name your daughter Sean. He must, like, her dad obviously didn't care about her. Like, you're given, it immediately makes it clear that they have an estranged relationship.
Either that, or the dad had no idea that she was a girl until she was like
It's like-
6, and it's too late.
It's like Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Wait, you're a girl? Billy Burke plays main baddie named Eddie, which, by the way, they don't really go through the bad guys' names. Like, I don't remember hearing them except for
Again,
maybe
I
once.
just referred to him as John Wick throughout the movie.
Billy Burke, if you know that name, it's more than likely because you know him from the Twilight series. He was whatever, Charlie Swan was the character.
Wasn't that the doctor?
Yeah, it's the doctor. It's the dad of.
Why do I know that?
I mean, I watched him. My mom was really into him, so I watched him. He also was the main character from the TV show Revolution from 2012 to 2014, which unfortunately got canceled. I say unfortunately because I actually enjoyed the show.
I enjoyed the first 5 episodes, and
I
then it
enjoyed
just
the
got
first
stupid.
season, and then I didn't care.
Yeah.
The next character is Richard Cabral, which played Duncan, the Hispanic psychotic stabber. Because the entire time of the movie, all he did was sit there and play with his ridiculously large Bowie knife and like be ready to like, I'm gonna stab somebody.
And he had like a whole new like revolutionary pedophile mustache.
Yes, he did.
Like it was only there like on the ends of his mouth, and like it was just clean shaven in the middle.
I don't know anything that he's been in. Everything that I see is stuff that I've never heard of. Like End of Watch. I don't know who that is. Apparently his name was Demon. I don't know if that means he was a demon or what. He also apparently played in a
Hello, my mother named me Demon.
in a paranormal
It was horribly
show
unfortunate.
or movie. I don't know. He played in Key and Peele apparently. That's about the only movie that I know of.
Peele was a movie?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It had a movie, I believe. The next person is, I'm sorry if I butcher this name, Ajiona. I don't know. Ajiona Alexis. She played the daughter, Jasmine Russell. Which also, she must have really took after her mom, because she also remained slightly calm afterwards. Like, once her mom, like, told her, like, what to do and everything, she immediately, like, became just as cool as her mother.
Also, she's as good at espionage as her mother.
Yes, she is.
She can cut through plastic tie-down straps
With a broken lamp.
with broken pottery, which would not happen, first of all.
The next guy is Levi.
There is no second of all. It just wouldn't happen.
The next guy is Levi Meaden. He played Sam, or as we like to call him, Boy Band.
Boy band.
Because he looked
He
like
had
the
he
lead
had
singer of
frosted
like
tips.
NSYNC. Like that's who he was. I don't want to see all photos.
I
of
almost
this guy.
wanted. I almost wanted to sing "Bye Bye Bye" as he died.
Things he's been in. He was in Pacific Rim Uprising, which I never saw, so I didn't know
That was
ever
the
in
movie
it.
where John Boyega played a more important role than Finn.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
He contributed more than Finn.
He's been in a lot of TV shows, as I assume just side characters. Like I love this. He was in War for the Planet of the Apes as Soldier.
Oh, cool.
You know you've made it. You know you have made it.
Hello, my name is Soldier. You guess
He
what
was
my
in
job
Legends of
is?
Tomorrow, apparently, as Tommy Fuller. Don't know who that is. He was in iZombie as Nate. Still don't know who that is. So apparently he's been in quite a few things. I just don't know any of them. Seth Carr played Glover Russell.
Which
the
how old
son.
do you think? How old do you think that kid was in the movie?
Oh, he played the kid, Seth Carr. He is child Killmonger from Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
He was also young boy in Terminator Generations.
Hello, I am young boy. No. But no, this kid was like, I guess, like 8
Yeah,
in this
he's
movie.
pretty young.
And he doesn't know how to shoot a gun, but he knows what like a heat-seeking sensor is, and he knows what a motion device is, and he knows how to fly a drone, and like he knows all the security devices in his grandpa's home, and he says them like without missing a beat. He's just like, wow, grandpa has some high-tech stuff in here. But then when he gets a gun in his hand, he just misses like an idiot.
And he's like at point blank range,
Yeah.
dude.
Like I've never shot a gun and I would hit that.
Probably.
I would hit that mark.
All right. He also apparently was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as
Sorry.
young Holt.
Oh, is young Captain Holt?
Yeah, so-
that would be funny. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Next is Mark Furs, who plays the character Peter. That's Skinhead.
Hey, Peter.
Peter.
You can't say Peter without doing that first.
Again, don't know him from anything. Oh, he apparently was in I Can Only Imagine.
Oh, wait, Peter the skinhead?
Yeah, as a character named Nathan. Haven't seen the movie, so I don't know, but that's so random.
What if he's a skinhead and I Can Only Imagine? Like, what if
the main
he's just
character?
typecasted as a skinhead in every movie?
I mean, he is bald. Look at his IMDb picture.
Oh my god. He looks like he would be at a rally.
He looks kind of cool. Jason George is the father, not the grandpa, not the guy that died. The
The
wife's,
super ripped,
the supermom's husband,
husband.
who was like super ripped.
But he
and
got
everything, but he
beat up.
did nothing. He did nothing the entirety of the movie. He showed up for like 5 minutes, immediately got the crap beat out of him.
It wasn't even 5 minutes. It was like 1 minute.
Yeah.
He showed up and he was just like,
Immediately got beat up.
Oh, there's blood on that car. I shouldn't go back to my own car and call the police.
I don't know hardly anything that he's been in except for, he was in Stargate.
Really?
Yeah.
Which Stargate?
Stargate. SG-1. He's Jolin.
Let me see.
And
Let me see that phone.
no, it's just the IMDb. He's listed as Jolin from 2005 to 2006.
Who the heck is Joel?
I don't know. And he's also in Kidnap, which
He must have been one of the Jaffa.
I've never seen Kidnap, but I saw it advertised. Krista Miller plays the character Maggie Harris, who is the realtor to sell the house, who she lasts longer than, or she doesn't last, but she's in the movie longer, yet made less money, and also had to get her throat slit by pedophile Mexican. So that's not fun.
Okay, so I can't say Cholo.
Well, you already
You can
ruined it.
associate Mexicans with pedophilia. Thanks, Doan.
No, that's not.
Thanks. Thanks.
I mean, anyone can be a pedo.
Yeah.
Even you.
What?
And the last cast member listed is Damian Leake, who plays Isaac, the grandpa, who died within the first 5 minutes. Good lord!
Which that was my
Hold
main.
on! Just from this picture, this is a ripped old man.
Oh my god!
He is huge!
Oh my god!
He is mad! Look at those neck muscles!
There's so many
Golly.
muscles.
He was in Highlander! He's
played?
Tony!
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's in Apocalypse Now? Oh man, I love that movie. It's a great movie.
Anyway, I also want to point out how stupid it was. He's jogging, right? And he looks like he stops at a crosswalk, and he looks left, and he looks right, and then he looks left again, and then he starts to go, and then a truck comes out of nowhere and kills him. And it's like, wait, you looked left. The truck came from the left. You would have seen it coming. You would have stood there and waited. And it's a truck. I drive a truck. They just don't go 0 to 60 like that. You gotta rev them up, okay? Like, you would have heard it coming. You would have seen the truck coming. Anyway, that's my inconsistency with it.
The entire premise of the movie is the people kidnap the kids and keep them in mom's lots outside the house. Mom has to break back into house to stop the bad guys and save her kids. Which, on paper, this premise, I guess, wouldn't be terrible if the mom had some form of military training.
Like, if at the very least she was a cop.
Yeah, like something to make it plausible that a mother, like, I get it. The point of the movie is that a mother will do anything to save her children. Would face down 4 hardened criminals for her children, which I imagine there probably is a mother out there that would do that. I imagine so. I know for certain my mother would lay down her life to protect me or my brothers. However, would she succeed? Probably not. like if it came right down to it, you would more than likely die. If I were to try and do something like that, I would probably die because I have no formal training. So the idea that this woman is able to just suddenly be able to stop and kill hardened criminals is very unbelievable.
And also feel nothing when she kills them either.
Not at all.
Like, most people,
panicked.
whenever they kill someone, they're gonna panic because they've never taken a life before. She's just like, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Like, okay, so I know
Sucks to be you.
I know someone, and I won't name names, and mostly because I know they will never hear this. But I had heard them telling, or my parents told me about this. They were some friends of ours. Someone broke into their house and was threatening their kids. Mm-hmm. And the dad, who we knew, and we always kind of like, you know, he's always been a very quiet guy. He's not very talkative. He's never been much for outbursts or anything. He's pretty chill. And in that moment, all he could think about was protecting his children. He killed a man with his bare hands. Like, snapped the dude's neck. That's not something you just walk away from, because never knew this, but once we heard about it and everything, a lot of his mannerisms made sense. The way he carried himself, the fact that he was very reserved and quiet, like, that stuck with him. So the idea that this woman is suddenly fighting people that are way out of her league and beating them and then ultimately resulting in their deaths is unbelievable. That immediately made the movie too hard to accept. So I don't know, I know a lot of people are gonna look at it and be like, well, you accept it when if it's like a dude doing it. Well, I can't think of a movie where something similar like this has happened, where the person involved hasn't been military trained. Like
I would say the situation where it was like, you remember the movie where Channing Tatum was applying to be Secret Service, and a group of criminals like took over the White House, and he was the only person that was able to take them down and protect the president, even though he's not officially Secret Service. Yeah, like, it would be something similar to that, except he's ex-military, he's ex-Marines, and, like, I believe a cop right now.
Yeah.
Like, he has formal training like that. It's a similar situation like that.
I would liken this movie to Paul Blart Mall Cop. You have absolutely no training, no formal training. There is absolutely no possible way you could have won, but because plot convenience, you won.
Yeah.
That's great. I wish life had plot convenience.
Yeah.
I wish that it was true that we were all the protagonists of our own story, which in a way wouldn't really work, because then no one would ever lose.
Ever. And I would get into situations because I would be like, don't worry about it. It's going to end well for me anyway.
I'm protag.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I'm the main. It's like, we've got someone else applying for the job of CEO for the company, and the current CEO's just like, uh-oh.
Don't worry,
no.
you'll have like a comeback.
He just like opens the window. It's like, sir, what are you doing? It's like, I'm jumping and getting it out of the way before I die horribly. That was dark. So let's transition to Dylan. What did you like about the movie?
What did I like about
What
the
did
movie?
you like about the movie?
Oh, man. What did I like about this movie?
What did you like?
I liked you know what? Okay, so it's not necessarily an aspect of the movie, more of the actor itself. Boy band.
Yeah.
Only because he was the most realistic character.
Yeah.
He was, first off, he was there to get the money, not because he was really a hardened criminal or anything, but because he was down on his luck. He thought this was the only way out, so he got hardened criminals to help him do it. And he was the only one that also had conflictions. And I get it, if you're a criminal that's been doing this for a long time, you probably don't have a lot of conflictions at some point. Even the knife guy, like, he even points out, he says, you know, the first time's always your hardest. He says that in an ironic way, because he's trying to make boy band kill the mom. But it's actually a good point in the fact that I imagine this guy, before he became a psychopath killer with a knife, it probably was difficult for him to kill the first person he killed. However, I don't like the fact that this character, he at least portrayed his character well, in the fact that he was second guessing himself. He obviously had a lot of reservations, like, he wanted to steal the money, but he didn't want to see anyone hurt. He didn't want to see human life taken just for the sake of him being able to get some money.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked, that was probably the only part of the movie I liked, was the fact that that character did well at his job, despite the bad writing that this movie had.
I think my favorite part of the movie was how much meme culture has ruined my mindset and how memes are the language of the internet. Because when Cholo serial killer got run over by the truck, the first thing that came to my mind was Roblox sound effect, oof. Like, that's all I heard. And I was sitting there like, I hate memes. I hate what they've done to me. But, like,
oh my god,
I agree with you about boy band being the most real character. I also liked how friggin' John Wick would end every single sentence with either an eyebrow raise, a slight head
he was very
twitch,
serious,
or a scrunch face.
He was super serious the whole time.
Also, I love how Metal Gear Mom has the finger strength and the arm strength to hang on the edge of the spiral staircase for 30 seconds as Cholo serial killer is looking for her. And she's just sitting there like, that's a move you make in Metal Gear, climbing up pipes like that. And this mama's just sitting there doing that like it's nothing. This movie was a whole different type of magical. And the moment...
I've seen a movie that is so bad that you fall in love. Like, you can't help but say, you know what? This was worth it because I had a great time.
I think I actually broke out into laughter when I saw that scene where she's hanging on the side of the staircase, and I'm just like, no one ever told me this was going to be a good movie. It was just... This movie was ridiculous.
This movie blew my mind. It was so crazy.
When they mentioned the stables, I thought they were actually going to be important.
Yeah, they pointed out, it was like, oh, Grandpa had horses? And like, shot pan to some stables, and it's like...
I'm like, that's where it is. That's where the safe is.
That's going to be important later, and never see it again.
Nope. Wasn't important.
Don't point out small details if you're not going to utilize it.
Hey, get closer to the mic.
You had $6 million. $6 million to make this movie. I do not, for one moment, think $6 million was put into this movie.
If it was all, like, to buy actors and stuff like that.
But I don't know any of the actors. Except for maybe, like, two of them.
Well, yeah,
and those two people haven't been in that many big stuff, so they couldn't have cost that much money to get. That makes it sound like you go to a store and buy actors. Like,
Yeah.
you walk up and
Yes, I would like...
Tom Cruise?
Well, we need at least one Hispanic, Latino American to round out the cast. Let's get 4 white people, 1 white female. Let's get 1 with frosted tips. We need a skinhead. And 1 with long, like, you know what? John Wick was big last year. Let's get 1 of those.
They just have, like, they're all coming, like, pre-packaged.
Yeah.
And they, like, one of them's like, now, do you want the real John Wick or the knockoff John Wick?
Let's go with great value,
Great
please.
value brand, man. I'm digging that.
Oh my god.
This movie was amazing in its own right because
It was horrible.
This is what's wrong with our country. They spent $6 million on this movie, and don't get me wrong, it's made its money back. But $37 million.
To.
I think that people probably went into this movie either one, not knowing what it was, so they were just curious. They were probably, or like they're probably similar to us. They like they went because of like some alternative reason. There was some reason they had to go see this movie.
They had to go film a podcast later.
So we had to go and spend like $10 on a ticket to watch some movie that we really didn't want to see. But that's okay, because we're making good content for you.
I was fixing to ask what you disliked about the movie, but it's the movie.
No, you know what I disliked the most in this whole film?
What?
I disliked the whole concept that these guys are hardened criminals. One of them is clearly a murderer. He has no problem killing. One of them, this is not like John Wick's character. This is obviously not the first time he's done something like this. So I imagine he has either killed or has been around killing enough to not care. And the boy band guy is irrelevant, basically. It doesn't matter what he wants. He's a chicken. He doesn't care. He's a coward. It wouldn't matter what he wanted anyway. And skinhead guy was like their tech guy. He was just there to break into the safe. So I imagine he was probably easy to get. They tell him, hey, you get some money, you'll get your cut, you can go home, whatever. It's kind of like a GTA heist. What you don't know is that before this, 4 guys sat down and were planning a GTA heist.
They had some, what's the guy that arranges your heists?
Lester.
Lester.
They had Lester telling them
just
what
like,
to do.
hey, this is going to be easy. No one's going to be at the house. There's several $1 million in this safe. You just got to find it.
Yeah, you just got to go find it. It's fine. So, the thing that I absolutely couldn't stand about this is the fact that at no point, like, I get, like, they make a big deal out of the fact that, the psychopath with the knife, the fact that he's okay with killing people because he kills the realtor and he doesn't care and whatever, boy band doesn't like it. The leader, who obviously has no problem with people dying because he has no reaction to the fact that the realtor just got her throat slit, other than the fact that he's like, come on bro, we wanted to make this quick and now you've made it messier, which I get that part. But the fact that he doesn't just say, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna shoot your kids and move on. Like, this whole hour and a half doesn't have to be wasted chasing you around. The moment he saw her, like, they meet out in the yard, alright? His buddy's there. Which, granted, they have a scene where he shoots Skinhead, which, if you're accurate enough to land 2 shots right in his chest, you're accurate enough to hit that woman as she turns to run. Because you terrified the crap out of her, and you should have been able to do it. So I think that's what I hated the most. It was just so unbelievable. The movie itself was just too unbelievable. At no point could I tell myself, I could see that happening. Like, none of it was. None of it.
Yeah.
Could I see a woman possibly trying to save her kids? Yes. But you know what I see directly happening right after that? Her dying as a result, because these criminals don't care about her or her family.
So let's go ahead and get to the rating
you
system.
Say what you hated.
Oh,
Guys, how would
I
you
already
dislike-
said the movie. The movie. There's nothing to say. I hated the movie. It wasn't. I disliked the movie, but the most fun I had was making fun of how much I didn't like the movie.
It was bad.
Let's go ahead and get to your rating system. Let me. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Sorry, I had to tickle my throat. It's still kind of there, but go ahead.
They can't see what's happening. I just picture you like, I got a tickle in my throat, and it's like, Dale, stop tickling my throat. I'm like, anyway, this is a good podcast.
We're professionals.
We need to go watch bad movies better, bad movies more often. So, I think I would give this movie maybe a 4 out of 10. I appreciate the effort that went into it. The actor performances weren't horrible, but they also weren't good. They weren't like stellar Academy Award winning performances.
You know they will win. You know they will.
Okay, but
They win or award.
but I don't think this movie deserves any higher than a 4. What's your opinion?
I would give it like a 3.5, and that's being generous.
Yeah.
Because the writing was very poor. I'm sorry, like whoever the writer was for this movie, you'll never hear this, but I'm sorry if this
What if they're listening right now? What if they've got our computer bugged right now?
They're gonna come and kill us?
Specifically, yeah. What they're gonna send Cholo serial killer and John Wick to come take us out?
You know what? I'd be impressed. I'd be happy. I'd be like, dang, you guys care.
Woo! You're one of our 2 listeners. Nice.
It's just the writing was poor. Like you said, the acting, it wasn't horrid, but it could have been better. My least favorite actor was the kids. Mm-hmm. Because, one, I already don't like kid actors.
You do realize actor is a singular word, right?
Sure. I don't like kid actors. I don't like them. They tend to just not be very good. People like Finn Wolfhard are a different story. He's very good.
Well, because they're generally like the age of the kid they're cast as.
Yeah, and these kids, I don't know. Like, I guess the daughter, yeah, she's close to her age, so it makes sense. She's a snotty teenager. But the son, it just didn't make sense. Like, his character, you honestly could have not had the son at all, and it would have been fine. It would have been perfectly okay. It was rough. The movie itself I never felt like, okay, you're gonna advertise yourself as an action thriller. There was no suspense. I never felt a moment of like, oh no, what's gonna happen? Had they actually killed off like a kid, it would have been shocking. That probably would have made the movie slightly better.
Because you would have had that emotional like, oh man, they actually did that.
Yeah, but like instead what they did was they literally had a character set aside as a throwaway character, which that right there tells you that they obviously this wasn't a serious movie. This was never going to be a movie that was going to be on an edge of your seat. So I think that it flopped in regards of what it was supposed to be. I give you props for trying something. I think action, thriller, suspense movies are a dime a dozen nowadays. So the fact that you were trying to do one is commendable. I just don't think it worked.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's about all I got for today.
Yeah.
We can't make fun of this movie anymore.
I will not recommend you go see this movie. Go see it if you want. I mean, honestly,
wait for it to come out on Redbox.
If you're like us, you get a good laugh out of it, at least. I think we were making the people in front of us angry, though.
Yeah.
There were like only 4 other people, and 2 of them were like some teenage girls in front of us. I think we were making them a little mad.
They can get over it.
I think they were a little irritated with us because it was
kept
hard
laughing.
not to. It was hard not to. Like, there were moments where it was like, I would have to like put my hand over my mouth because I wanted to just start laughing so hard. And so
And you know it's bad whenever a movie that's supposed to be an action and you want to laugh at it. Like, you're just like, this isn't supposed to be a comedy. And I'm laughing. This is funny.
So I was just gonna say, if you want to go see the movie, go ahead. I wouldn't waste your money. I wouldn't worry
Wait for
about it.
Redbox.
Redbox. I wouldn't even spend $1 on this movie. But go ahead. I mean, and you'll see it probably like the moment it's out on DVD. It's not even gonna be one that's on the shelf. It'll immediately be in the Walmart $5 bin.
You think that?
I think so.
Oh.
That or it's gonna be like those movies that are like they were so bad or they're so just underwhelmed that they're in like the box sets where it's like 5 films for the price of 1. So that's probably what you're gonna get. So again, I mean, go see the movie if you want. Watch it whenever you want. If you think it's good, great, awesome. We'd like to hear your opinion on it. But we honestly couldn't care for it. And this isn't like that's our personal opinion, but also looking at it just as a movie, it just didn't work. The writing was off. The acting wasn't the greatest. Just didn't work.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Doan. As always, thank you all for tuning in and listening. This is the Movie Panda podcast, and we'll see y'all later.
Bye-bye.